again, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, Thrift Nice. If you're new here, this is a channel all about finding things to flip online for a profit. I dig up treasure from yard sales, garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, all kinds of different places, and I sell it on eBay, Etsy, Mercari, and Poshmark to make a living. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a sales update, meaning I'm going to show you about 10 items or so that have sold for me very, very recently online. So if you're a new reseller, somebody who's interested in getting started, or just trying to grow your business by learning a little bit more about what is selling for other people out there, then stay tuned because this video is for you. Oh, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you hear anything today that helps you out, because that really helps me out with YouTube and the algorithm as well. All right, let's get started. So as always, I'm going to put an image right here. While I tell you about the item, I'll tell you where I picked it up, I'll tell you how much I paid for it, how much it sold for, and I'll try and remember if I can to tell you about how long it was listed so you can see what my sell-through rate was. All right, first item was a yard sale find. This is a fossil bag. It was kind of like a satchel. Brown leather. I try and stick to just like the leather fossil bags at this point, and I try and pick things that are a bit more contemporary in their style, which this one was. That is why I paid up for this item. I actually paid $10 at a yard sale, which is more, I have to say, than I usually would for a fossil bag. However, I actually picked up a lot of different items at this particular yard sale, including multiple other fossil bags as well that were more around like the $2 to $3 mark. I don't know why this one was priced so high. Maybe it just hadn't been used. It looked like it was pretty much brand new. So I decided that everything was just going to kind of like even out in the end, basically, in terms of my cost of goods. So $10 technically went into this, and it sold for $40 plus shipping on eBay. And this one was probably listed for around sort of like 4 to 6 months, I would say. It was listed on multiple different platforms. So it was, I think, eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. But eBay is just the one that it ended up selling on. All right, next is a vintage cardigan, which probably sounds really boring, but I actually love to pick these up. And if you can find them where they're a little bit more unique and you can use some pretty cool keywords and stuff in there, then oftentimes you can move them fairly quickly, which is exactly what happened with this one. So this one was a hand knit cardigan, vintage, like I said, no labels or anything in it, I don't think, but it had all kind of like blue daisies, like a floral thing knit into it as well. So again, a little bit more unique, and I could use keywords like cottagecore, farmhouse, maybe even like prairie, boho, all kinds of different things that I could play around with in my listing to try and attract the right buyer. This one I picked up at a yard sale for $2, and it sold for $32 plus shipping. All right, next is a pair of shoes that I wanted to highlight because this is a pair of shoes I find sort of time and again, really, and they always have a good sell-through rate for me, and they always sell for a decent amount. So I only paid $1 for this pair of shoes, and it is by the brand AGL. They were in really nice shape, and the brand is actually just a little bit higher end. Like, it's not, I wouldn't call it like designer necessarily, but it does cost a fair amount to buy at retail. So sometimes that influences how much things resell for, sometimes it doesn't, unfortunately, which is always a bit of a head scratcher, but in this case they do resell quite nicely. So paid $1 for these, and they sold for $30, and they were listed for about 3 months as well. All right, next is a lot of vintage Alabama LP records. I often look through records when I'm at yard sales, mostly to see if there's anything for my own collection, and then to see if there's anything that stands out as well. I've sold quite a few contemporary records that did really well, anywhere from like $100 to $150 on those. And the best part about those is you can actually scan the albums and see what they're going for on eBay. Just a little tip on the side there. If you're at a yard sale and you're wondering if there's any resale value in an item that you found and it's either new in the package or it has a barcode like on the back of one of those records, go ahead and scan it with your eBay app. In the search bar, you'll find a little barcode icon, and then if you click that, that will allow you to scan, and then 9 times out of 10 it's going to bring that product up, and you can sort by sold to see exactly what they've been selling for recently. Just a side note. So in this particular record collection, there was a lot of the same artist, Alabama, and they were about 50 cents a piece, I think, so not very much at all. So I went ahead and gathered up a variety, basically everything that I could find by Alabama. I ended up having 2 separate lots by them. One sold on Poshmark for around 25 or so, I think, if I remember correctly. I'll try and put it over here now that I'm just thinking of it. But the main one that I'm focusing on is the most recent one, which sold on eBay, and that was 8 records. So a lot of 8. So technically I had $4 into all of those records, and they sold for $40 plus shipping. So not a bad return on investment at all. All right, next was just a really fun item, and I really enjoyed finding it. So this was at one of those yard sales where I couldn't find anything at all. And then lo and behold, this was hanging on a clothes rack. It was a duffel bag, and it was so faded. It was you'll see in the photos, I'm sure, like the images were barely visible. However, I could see exactly what it was, and it was Masters of the Universe, like He-Man. And it said on it, Evil Horde, and it was dated 1983 by Slumbermate. Now, if I had had this and it was in really good condition with all of the graphics not being so cracked and faded and stuff like that, I probably could have done really, really well on this. But I only paid $1 for it, and oh, I should also add, it also had a hole in the side that had been really messily like sewn up, like, you know, it was pretty beat up. It was an older piece and it had definitely been used. If it had been in mint condition, it would have done really, really nicely. But still, I paid $1 and it sold for $25, which is not too bad for a beat up old duffel bag. And actually, I think that one was listed probably closer to 7 or 8 months. So that one took a little bit longer to sell, but I knew it would eventually. All right, and my last eBay sale that I'm going to show you is another bag. It's going to be a backpack. So this is a backpack by Disney. It's the animation Tangled, like the Rapunzel themed one. I found this at a yard sale. There's actually 2 of them. Unfortunately, one was really beaten up. Actually, now I'm kind of wishing I grabbed it as well, I have to say. Maybe giving it a try to clean it up. I paid $2 for this, and when I got home and looked it up, it was the Disney store, not just like Disney that you would find maybe like at Walmart or Target. This one was specifically the Disney store, which can really help when it comes to like resale value and stuff like that, same as like Disney parks. But when I looked it up, I really couldn't find hardly anything on it, like no other similar ones listed, so it was kind of rare, if you like. I paid $2 for this, and it ended up selling for $35.99 plus shipping as well. All right, let's move on to Poshmark for a minute so that I can show you just a few little sales that have happened there for me very recently as well. So I'm going to start with some vintage Levi's shorts. Actually, at a yard sale right at the end of the season last year, I bought a huge stack. I think there was maybe 7 or 8 vintage high-rise mom jean shorts, all by Levi's. They were all 550s, made in the USA. And I just kind of squirreled them away because I figured I would list them closer to spring or summer. Well, here we are coming into spring, so I decided to dig them out and go ahead and just list them en masse and get them out of the way. I think 3 pairs have already sold in the first week, so I probably should have listed them sooner. Anyway, I've got 2 to show you here that were both on Poshmark. One sold for $25, one sold for $30, and I only paid $1 a piece at the yard sale, so I've already more than made all my money back. I'm in pure profit at this point, and the rest of them are already listed. They're just sitting there waiting to sell as well. So needless to say, these shorts definitely have not gone out of style yet. Still pick them up if you find them at yard sales, as long as they're vintage. All right, next we have a pair of Tory Burch espadrilles. So these were flats. They were like a blush pink with a black detailing on them. I paid $3 at a yard sale for these. Actually, when I got there, I couldn't believe it. It was towards the end of the day, and she still had loads of good stuff. She had Tory Burch, she had a Lily Pulitzer, I think a bunch of Betsy Johnson stuff that did well. Like, she had a bunch of cute stuff, and just nobody had made it to that particular yard sale and found the stuff before me, even though it was like almost midday. I love those kind of sales. So as you can imagine, I scooped up so much stuff. She was very happy because she got to sell a bunch of stuff, and I was super happy because I got a bunch of cool stuff to either keep for myself or to flip. Anyway, paid $3 for these, and they sold on Poshmark for $50 plus the shipping again, and they were probably listed for around 4 months or so before they sold. All right, next is a pair of Catwoman Converse. So I had a case opened on me for these. I'm going to like be upfront with that. They didn't have any size tags in them, so what I did is I tried them on first of all. I'm a size like 9.5 or so, and I could actually wear them fairly comfortably, but they were just a little bit tight, so I put an estimate of size 9, like women's size 9, in my listing, and then I went ahead and added my measurements as well for the outsole, and I believe maybe the insole as well, and the bottom foot, all those kind of things, to try and help my buyer. And I made sure in bold letters, like, there is no size tag, this is an estimate, please see all of the measurements. And unfortunately, when they got them, they opened up a return saying that they were at least a size 7, 7 or 8, I think they said, which I disagree with, because again, 9.5, and I could wear them. Hot off the press, Poshmark actually sided with me this time. Unfortunately for them, their return was denied, but of course they could reposh them if they wanted to, which is always a quick and easy option on Poshmark. And anyway, long story short, I paid $10 at a yard sale for these. Their prices were kind of high at this yard sale, but again, it kind of evened out as cost of goods with a bunch of other stuff that I had bought, and I thought the graphics were really cool. Again, DC, Catwoman, graphics all over them, high tops, lots of things that I look for in Converse. So I paid $10 and they sold for $54 plus shipping on Poshmark. All right, and the last item I'm going to show you is an absolute fail, but I wanted to share it with you so maybe you don't make the same mistake as I did. So these were Frozen cutouts, like, you know, the cardboard cutouts you get at the movie theater. There was Olaf, and then there was Elsa and Anna, I don't know, bunch of frozen people. And I paid $7 for the pair of them at a yard sale. I should have flipped them locally to see if anybody wanted them for like a kid's party or something, but I decided to list them. I don't know why I did that to myself, because you can imagine shipping these things was horrendous. So it took me like 20 minutes to package these things up anyway. The person bought them as a bundle together. They got a deal for $40. So again, I paid $7, they paid $40 for them plus shipping. However, these things were so oversized and heavy, they absolutely cost me about $9 extra in shipping costs. So I ended up making maybe like $15 to $20 or so on these items, which is not too bad, but the amount of effort and work that I had to put in just to get these things shipped out, I would never do it again. These would definitely be local flips for me if I even bothered at all picking them up a second time. They just didn't have the market that I thought that they might do, and they were a lot more work than was worth the amount of money that I made. But there we go, lesson learned, and still a little bit of profit. Makes it hurt just a little bit less. All right, you guys, that is everything I've got to show you today in this sales update. Stay tuned. If you're like me and you are absolutely ready for yard sale season to begin, you're in luck, because that is the exact content that is coming to my channel very, very soon. In fact, starting next week, I will have my first yard sale video of the season. And from then on, I will be hitting as many yard sales as possible and be coming back with 3 to 5 videos a week, taking you guys along with me to yard sales, garage sales, and estate sales so we can find awesome and super cool things to flip online for a profit. Of course, if that sounds good to you and you want to come along with me to all these yard sales, then don't forget to hit subscribe down below and the bell notification so you never miss a video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!